headlines, world news, red carpets and views, politics in the streets, not just suits on the news. From the culture to the chaos, we bring it. No crap. Man off the record, we tell it like it is. No fluff, no fear, just facts and real biz. Voices of the people, stories that connect. From gossip to the government, you know what's next.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is the Minion with Opinion here with another show, and I'm sorry, y'all, this is off the record, and I am one of your hosts. Let me correct myself, Minion with Opinion, and we have my co host. I said what I said. What's going on? I said what I said.
Hi, Minion. Nothing's going on. Everything's good. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I'm ready to get into this show. Tired of all the technical difficulties, but then we also have a guest who's going to be on our show today, and we're going to be talking about what her experience has been working with um, our favorite advocate, right?
Right.
We're gonna just welcome. She's already on the screen, but I just want everybody to welcome Lizzie to the show. So what's up, Lizzie?
Hi, what's up?
All right, and today I know you wanted to come on so you could share your story regarding your experience. You had a encounter with Jedediah the other day, where I guess he was responding to one of my videos, and unfortunately, it got you kind of drug, or you and your brother drug into the conversation, and so you felt a need to just clarify some things, just to make sure that the story isn't you know one sided. You just want to make sure that you get your side out. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, Lizzie, I'm not gonna waste too much time. I would say we can get right into what brings you onto the show. So, um, just to give a little background before we get into the actual issue that you wanted to address,
Mhm.
um, how do you and INA connect? Like, how did you get to a point where your brother was working with Jedediah?
So initially on the show, this would be somewhere, I think either somewhere around November, December. He asked his audience if he was looking for a new producer for his show because one of the other producers had left, or something to the fact of him needing a new producer to help them produce the show. So I ended up reaching out for my brother because he had to do was like college, like he had to finish these college credits, and in order to do that, he had to have studio or production hours to be signed off so that he could complete this and graduate at this particular time. So
So your brother needed student credit hours,
yes,
and Jedediah needed a producer.
oh, yes. So it was almost like kind of like a win-win. Like, oh, well, like, is this what we need? Like, oh, like two things that kind of mysteriously happen. He needs this, and also Jedediah needs this. So it was like a mutual understanding as my brother wanted no money, uh, just credit hours, just for him to sign off on those credit hours.
Okay. And so, did you reach out to Jedediah? Like, did you email him or call him, or
No,
how did
I
you?
initially reached out. He had that, I think, 800 number at the time where you could call in, and I called that number, and that is how we got in contact about this, being the student producer.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So, once you called the number, you speak to Jedediah directly, or did you speak to
Somebody
his
was
people?
somebody who said he was his assistant at the time, and then Jedediah was like three-way into the call.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Then the very next day, he announced it onto his platform.
Okay, so um, I think that some of the allegate, and so let's talk about how you got to the point where y'all talked. You Now your brother is involved, and he's going to be a producer on the show? How do we get to that point?
So this is after we had the conversation with him. He said that they had to vet us or like investigate us because we're in Florida now. They're in Chicago. We had never stepped a foot in Chicago at this point. And so we're like, oh yeah, there's nothing that's gonna tie us to anything Tiffany related or anybody there that could be a potential problem. So he was like, that was even better. And then as time comes, he announces it on his show, and they reach back out to my brother, and we forward them the email for his from his school, saying what he needed, and they were on board. And they said that he was more than welcome to come on the show and help. And they even one time they showed him how to do EV Mux. Like he had a conversation with one of the other producers behind the scene about like what they were going to do and what they were going to start doing. And then another producer by the name of, I don't know if I should delete the names or if I can just go ahead and say them.
I mean, it's up to you. Um, if you feel like they're not really going to be having your back, I think that the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or, if you don't want to, you don't have to give their full name. You can just give their first name if you don't want to just give the full name.
Yeah, I just want to make sure before I say anything. But Sheila was
Or
the
if
one
you
that
don't
we
want
were.
to, you don't have to, because it's up to
No.
you. I don't want you to feel any kind of way in terms of, we're not doxing anybody or anything like that, but just to make sure that if you state facts, you want to make sure that they're verifiable. And
Mhm.
so, if that's somebody that you spoke with and that's just a fact, just to verify just to verify what happened and to make sure that people know that you're telling the truth,
Mhm.
then that's, you know,
So it was Sheila that we spoke to after the whole initial conversation with Jedediah, who went through what Tori would be doing on the show behind the scenes and using the studio they were using. Who he was then put in contact with another producer named Toya, who showed him a little bit via Zoom about how to use the platform or the software they were using to stream the lives. So after that, he didn't really hear too much more. I think he said um, Jedediah called him at one point about like doing a live, but it never happened. And then it went silent for a little while. Sheila reaches back out to us again without like anything being said because, of course, we're not trying to really worry him too much because we know that, maybe he's just busy with the whole Tiffany Hemingway situation. At the time, it was
mhm.
really big. So we just said, well, we'll just leave it alone for a little while. It's like only like a month or so, maybe 2 months in at this point. So as time keeps going on, we don't hear anything. And Sheila, during this time, says that she's going to give Jedediah my mom's phone number so that he doesn't forget because my brother needs this for school without us, making any contact. She just reached out. She said, because I knowing him, I know he'll forget. So I was like, okay, that's cool. We still didn't hear anything from him. It's fast forward, it's coming up on time for Tori to have his paper turned in for school with these hours on it. And he's gotten on this live and told everybody that he has a student producer who's a hero who has autism and to sew into this student producer. Yet it's a couple months later and this student producer still has not stepped a foot on scene anywhere in the background of doing any production on the show. So my mom reaches back out to Sheila again to say, Tori needs this credit. He hasn't done it yet. Can you please, help me with this because I don't want him to fail. So of course Jedediah calls immediately after he gets off of a live where he's talking about the shift event. So he says, my team said that I dropped the ball and that, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. He did drop the ball. Um, just kind of negating the fact that Tori never stepped a foot behind the scenes to actually do some of the work that he wanted to experience and needed for school. So, not to make this story too long as the background, my mom said, "Well, you're having a shift event. Why don't you have my son come and film, and maybe he can film a live show for you guys, so that he can still get those credits and still work for those credits because he really did want that experience." He said, yeah, that would be fine. That actually would work out really good. So then he tells people on the next slide that he has a student producer coming to film this live. Mind you, no one knows that the student producer has never actually stepped foot or did anything behind for INA.
Right.
So we're confused. Like, okay. So we get there, mind you. I'm gonna skip ahead. It's time to get there. We took an overnight flight there, of course, to Chicago. I'm tired. I was working overnight. I had to go straight to the airport with my brother. We get there. My mom sends Sheila a message saying that we were on the way. And Jedediah is on live a couple hours before the shift event, telling people that the student producer and his sister are on the way.
Mm.
Yet, and still, when we get there at the door, oh, who are you? It's Tori and his sister from Florida. He said, oh, okay. So it was like, okay, you got some set up, whatever. It was like, oh, well, like, where do you want us to set up? That's what we're asking because we're like, you know, kind of like we were happy first, and then we kind of looked at each other like, what was that about? You just literally got finished going live, not even a couple hours prior, saying that you knew we were
We
coming.
thought you would be a
Then you
little bit
look
more
like,
excited to see us, and
then you just be like, oh, okay. Like,
right.
did you not think we were coming? We told you we were coming. Anyway, so past that.
Well, before you know what, before you go any further, I do want us to look at some of the videos that because I remember watching. Actually, I think maybe. Do you remember what you and Jed said together during y'all's live?
I do remember some of it.
Okay, so before we're gonna play that a little bit later. Okay,
Hmm.
so you can kind of go through it and we can react to it.
Yeah,
I don't want to traumatize you again, but before we do that, do you want us to play the footage of Jedediah basically kind of using your brother, basically saying that he was, wanting to get support for your brother and things like that? Do you want to play that or you want to
absolutely.
okay,
Absolutely.
let's play a couple of those clips real quick. And the reason why I think these clips are important is because during that video, it did look like there was a little discrediting going on, basically stating that what you were saying wasn't based in truth. So let's take a look at this video.
INA, because we do have a producer who will be starting with us really soon. This is a student who actually isn't charging me. We're going to do something for this student who is going to be our new producer. But you guys, I learned today that our producer is a hero because not only educated and went through school and classes, comes with a bunch of equipment, included even to the fact of a $20,000 camera and tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment to help us be effective. But I couldn't imagine this better for myself. This young man has autism. It's autism. So God has sent us a genius with superpowers to help us to broadcast in a very, very effective way. So that definitely fills my heart, I'm honored. It will be a learning experience for us both. But they'll be starting with us soon. And so I'm saying that now, as you all see our production as it is coming, understand that there's a young man behind the scenes with autism, superpower, who is going to be using his education and his natural born genius to help us to be effective in our delivery. And they're charging us $0. See how long that lasts. See how long that lasts. We're not being charged anything.
That's funny.
And he is considering himself an intern.
Who is that in the background? His mom?
Letter or something to his school.
Yes, that's our mom.
That he's going to do.
And my sister.
I pray that I'll be fortunate enough to introduce y'all to this producer in the coming days.
All right. Well, let me play this next video. There's a few clips that you sent over.
Do me a favor and send out a prayer, a supportive prayer for INA, because we do have a producer
Oh
who will
wait,
be
did I just play
starting with
this?
us.
I think I just played that one. Let me
Mhm.
go to the next one.
It's coming. Oh,
Okay.
I want to share one more thing with you guys. Do me a favor and send out a prayer,
Oh, is this the same clip?
supportive prayer for
Yes, it's the same clip.
INA
Yeah, I think it's the same clip.
because we do
Oh, so
have
it's three of the same
a
clips.
producer
Yes.
who will be starting
Okay,
with us
all right.
real
So that
soon.
was that clip. All right, perfect. So we saw
I
that
think it all
clip.
said the same thing.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, I mean that definitely shows, that this was something that you guys had planned out, and he thought that, it sounds like it was almost kind of like a contract, except he was just going to be working for free.
For free, right? I mean, we never won anything. No one asked him to throw out, bless. There's other ones too that, like, bless my producer or student producer or something like that that he said. We never cared for that at all. We just wanted Tori to get the experience. No one cared about
Right.
any of the rest of that. So as we were walking in, right? So there's other people. There's the lady Toya I was telling you about. She comes over, and I at first I didn't know who she was. She's like, "Oh, I'm Toya, the executive producer." She takes her hand and puts it to my brother like this, like like you're like I
Like
hold
as
somebody
if,
like that,
yeah, like as if you're
and
gonna
then
kiss
my
it or
brother he
something.
he got like look, that's what it looked like. My brother was like, and then she did it to me too. I was like, I let it stay there for a minute, and then I was like, I don't want to start nothing right now. So let me just
That's
shake his
funny.
hand and walk. Yeah, it's like so rude, so just out of pocket
that
nasty. I'm
that
like that's a detail I left out. I'm like, okay. So he's like, I'm like,
that's
where we set up?
that's
He
so
was like, go,
funny.
go set up back there. I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to figure out. Toya is the one that's actually doing the live. So she's the one recording the live off of some other like
The executive
tripod,
producer.
small, yeah. Like the
But
one that
the
had her hand like this.
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
But
So,
then okay, so I didn't really get a lot of information about the shift event. I don't really
mhm,
know about it because I really don't follow Jed unless it's like something really big, right? That I can,
mhm,
you know. Otherwise, if it's just a petty, him going against somebody else, I don't really get into all that. So, but I didn't know about the shift thing that much. I didn't know a lot of. I didn't really know anything about it, to be honest. But from what I've heard from the stories, is that the video was grainy and
yes,
it was very bad quality. Audio was
very,
horrible.
very. That
That's the
it
truth.
was. That's very true. My mom actually thought my brother was the one doing the live. She purchased a ticket because that's what we came under the impression of doing, the
Hmm.
live. And as you see, I sent you all the text messages and everything. So we came under the impression that he was doing the live. He has the cameras that you can clearly set up to the laptop, like very expensive, nice equipment that you could have done that with. So she was like, I know this isn't Tori, but like with this, I know that he knows better than this. This he said, put him on the phone right now. I'm about to cuss him out. I'm like, Tori's not doing the live. He told us to go sit up in the corner back here. Then he asked us, did we want to help with the mics? Then he stopped that. I guess he didn't want us to do anything. Maybe because we weren't, I don't know, we weren't really even supposed to be there.
Brief,
I'm not
right? He don't know that y'all even know
sure.
what y'all doing, right?
I guess, but I'm sure he probably knew because I see the way he cornered out my brother when he pulled out his camera out the bag. If you know, you know. But I'm like,
Right, right.
okay. I'm thinking maybe, he's gonna allow him to actually do what he said he was gonna do. Like he didn't bring his expensive equipment down here for no reason.
$25,000 camera to
Right. Sit in the
just
back.
right.
Come
I
on.
mean, and then he said it. So the fact that he would choose to have a lower quality broadcast when you
I
have
guess
all the equipment and
I guess she was getting paid. So she had to do that because I guess he was paying her because there's no way that you tell that blatant lie. That was a lie that my brother was gonna film the live, knowing that you never had any intention of that.
but couldn't she still
And
produce with him filming? Couldn't she still have been this person
I'm
setting up
sure
everything?
she could have figured something out.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like,
I
the
would
way
at
that,
least try to. I mean,
yeah,
this ain't
the way
right.
they,
I ain't saying this
the,
is
w-
right, but I
the
would
way
have
they
said,
threw it.
shit, he got the good equipment here. Let me use his and go ahead
And
and try to.
right.
even if I'm faking like it's mine. But I guess I
Yeah.
don't know what the
I mean, and
situation
then
was.
she's not even like when she was doing the camera, she's like if the video I sent you, like she's on the ground to the side, not looking in like in the actual viewfinder. She's on the side, just throwing the camera side to side like that with the little tripod stick. Like she's not even
Like
looking
she don't know
to
what the
the
hell she doing.
viewfinder.
Right.
Right. I'm like, okay. So my brother, he's in the back. Me and him are looking at each other, but I'm like, I'm telling my mom, we're about to pack up and go. Like then after that, he just ignored us. Like he just pretty much ignored us. Like looking at him, like, okay, like we came here. Well, I came under the impression that we are supposed to do this live because this is Tori wanting to get the experience he had been lacking for like the last 3 or 4 months that he was supposed to do virtually from the production studio behind the YouTube lives. That mind you, Jed was going live every other day. Jedediah went live every other day.
Hmm.
Tori never was stepped foot on one of those lives. So
He had plenty of opportunities to let Tori really,
right,
even if
and my
it's just
brother,
getting some experience.
he was very mad. He was very disappointed because he felt he sensationalized or exploited his autism and then never let him actually come on the show to just work behind the scenes. He never was like a forefront. This was always the back end production. So, and then it was free. It was $0. It cost no money, nothing. We weren't expecting payment. We had never asked you for anything.
Here are just some. These aren't any of the completed. Like these are just the
Rough
um,
cuts.
rough cuts of some of the pictures that were taken
Mhm.
uh, by your brother. Which,
Those are by me, which
oh yeah,
was for
right by you
him.
because you
It
were.
is with his
He was
camera
handling the
though.
camera. He was handling
Yeah,
the big video
yeah,
camera, and you were handling
yeah.
the
His little
photography.
small candle
The
camera.
the photo, yeah, the photography
Yeah,
camera.
that's all I know how to work.
Yeah, I mean, even these are still really decent photos. Did he get a chance to use these photos for, like, did you send him these?
I sent him none of those. He never got anything because he acted like we weren't there. Then when people complained about his live, he acted like he never clarified the fact that my brother did not do that live. Because mind you, he had everyone thinking that the student producer was filming that live. Never clarified that. Everyone was complaining about the graininess, the audio, and all of that. Mind you, my brother's in the back recording. He's telling them that he's waiting for the person who's doing the master copy to master and send it to him, and he'll send those people that want a copy who purchase virtual tickets. Who is the person with a master copy? Because you acted like we didn't exist. And
Right.
then at the ending of the night, you threw the water bottle at me because you had to go back up to the front. So you just let them drop. Like, who does that? And then, my brother's standing, like, he's just looking, like, come on. And then at the end of the night, you come up and say, "Am I mad? Are we mad with you?" I now look at you with a nasty. I would look at him with a nasty look and say, "Why would I be mad with you?" No one's asking you that question if they didn't do anything to you. He was really rude, really nasty. Majority of his people were nasty, except one lady, Sheila. Sheila was the only one who actually took us back to our hotel, made sure that we were good. Like she was actually genuinely nice. Other than that, no one, no one from his camp. I just realized what you see online is not what you get in person. But I
You
mean,
know, that's the
I.
only thing I hate sometimes. I'll get scared to meet people
Hmm,
who I admire because I always know. I mean, it's not even a think. I know that
hmm,
usually it's just a front for the public. That
hmm.
usually people are different, and when you meet them in person, and it's funny because you and I had a conversation. Just so you know, it doesn't look like it's streaming on my platform right now, so I'm gonna
Mhm,
probably end up having to download this video, and we're gonna have to probably
mhm,
stream it like a recorded live, and we'll probably be able to be in the chat and talk if anybody has any questions. But what I want to say is
mhm,
that with you and you had told me that you at first there was a point where you were really rooting for Jed to the point where
mhm.
you were ready to go against me because I was kind
Yes.
of going against him in regards to him calling the girls the B word.
Yes. And
Um,
I had to apologize, and I'm gonna apologize again because
but
I
it's
really
funny that you said
before
that because I
took
told
a
you I was the same way because we gave Jed a lot of passes because I was really passionate about what was going on in Dalton,
Mhm,
and he had really I felt like he had really sparked the movement in Dalton. And
mhm,
he had really gave the residents a voice. And two things can be true, right? At the same time.
mhm,
He could have done really great work in Dalton, but right now, as it stands in Harvey, is running
mhm.
amok and causing a lot of chaos. But
Yeah.
it's funny because I used to be exactly like you. I used to give him pass after pass because I was like, man, look, that man is out there trying to do what nobody else is doing. So and I say that just so people know. Um, no one wants to hate on anybody, in this space. No, people really do want to admire the people that they admire and continue admiring them. They don't want to have to, figure out the real and then not like you. I'm the only,
Yeah.
it's just because I have a platform right now, which I don't even know, I have a platform.
Mhm.
I don't mind saying what I have to say against anybody. I'm holding anybody accountable in 2025 and moving forward. So it don't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. You actually really like Jed to the point where you were against me, and I was also at that point before too. So
Yeah. I was on your show. I called into the show. I was on the live. I think Foxy Roxy was on there too. It was so long ago, but
was that
I
you?
called
We
in.
were talking.
I was lazy, and someone said, "I need to get her on my show." I was like, and then, but
Oh,
I think my phone died in the middle of it. But
I
yeah,
remember that. I think
yeah,
I remember
it
that.
was so late at night. I think it was like one or 2 a.m. It was like a late night
Mhm.
show.
Let
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
ask a question.
Huh?
So, all of this is deriving from your brother trying to do an internship free,
Free.
which an internship is free, and we all know
Hmm.
that. So
Hmm.
all of this came about because he was just trying to do a school project and use his platform as an internship, and he made an agreement to do that with you guys.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
then, like, what happened to for the project to fall through?
I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, but he said it out of his own mouth on the show the other day, which I figure that's what it was, is that he had a bad something with the last producer on his show. So he
Mm-hmm.
was skeptical of bringing on, he lied on me. He said that I reached out to him via email, lie. I reached out to you via your old call 1-800 number. And
Mm-hmm.
you responded the same day. Then the next day he went on live and said, "We found a producer. I reached out because you put an ad out." And I needed that ad because my brother needed the production. He needed the internship.
Yeah.
So he said that yeah, he said that he was gonna compensate us or something like that, but I don't know. It was a whole bunch of lies. I don't exactly remember. He said so much stuff that I can't even remember every lie he's told.
But he
It was
did
free.
basically use him as a. It was kind of like.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, fundraise and get people to purchase tickets because they were also
Yeah,
in turn supporting this
yeah,
amazing genius, autistic guy.
yeah, yeah.
So they were supporting a good cause, right? So
Yes.
And
That's what they
what month was this? Was this year, or when what's the time frame on it?
So February 27th or 28th, it was the shift event. I don't exactly remember which
So
day. I think it was the 27th, 28th.
okay, so February this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Mind you, we reached out to Jedediah either early December or November
Mm-hmm.
for this
Okay.
credit. Yeah.
Okay. So you,
So
you reached out in plenty of time.
it was plenty of time, and mind you, Jed was going live every other day. Like when
Yeah.
was Tori? Tori could have got in. Like Tori's
Right.
project was really to really focus on this. It wasn't that he was too busy with school. Some of the excuses that he said he didn't want to overbottle him down. No,
Mm-hmm.
the thing was he put out an ad that he later recanted and never told us. So then when the shift event came and we were like, well, can you at least do that so that he can actually have some experience? He just said yes in a way, I'm assuming to just get us out of his face. Then when we actually come down there, it's like, oh, you're here.
So you spent money to
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 go, yes,
to go and visit him.
to fly from Florida to Chicago.
Wow.
Yes,
Just
we spent
wow.
a lot of money because it was a very last minute, a very very last minute
Yeah. So the
idea. It
tickets
was
were
like so.
extremely high because you didn't do
Yes,
it in advance.
because this is the week before of the ship
Right.
event. This is the week
Right.
before. So, my brother at one point he thought he was just gonna have to do an alternative project, which was gonna take him way longer, which was, I think, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something significantly harder. And my mom was like, we're gonna reach out and see, maybe can you do that? Just so you can get these hours, because this was promised.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
this is one of the text messages sent after the event. Is that correct?
yes, this was sent after the argument we had online.
Okay, okay. And so it says, I just saw the live from yesterday, and I'm in no way going to make any excuses for my brother or to try to convince you not to feel how you feel. I apologize on behalf of INA and definitely will take constructive criticism to push him and us to do better and be better. I agree he has to slow down and be mindful. Please tell Tori I'm so sorry. It was never intended to make him feel bad, and pray that all of you can forgive us and the lack thereof in our organization. If I could ask one thing, it would only be to judge him based off of you and your family's interactions alone, if that is the case. I pray that Tori finds peace, and I already know he will be successful in his endeavors. Again, I apologize for insincerity. All right. Well, I mean, that was very nice of Sheila to apologize on behalf of INA. Too bad, um, you know,
He
it
called me
ain't
a
gonna do
liar.
nothing. It ain't
He called me a
right.
liar.
He
He told
still
me
doubled
that.
down on it afterwards, right?
Yeah, he called me a liar and told me that when I said that, yes, he got his teeth done with the shift money. Yes, that event did not cost as much as he made off of that event. Mind you, he said he also had virtual tickets that people purchased, as well as tickets at the door. And I heard from one of the ladies serving the food over there as I was walking past that his mother only spent $100 for that food. She was like, "Oh, his mother did well for the $100 she spent with the $100 budget she had for this food."
And see, and that's what I was saying. Like the
Hmm.
other day, I saw something that Kobe Chapman. I don't know if you're keeping up with all of this stuff, but Kobe
Hmm.
Chapman
This one
had
right here, the one in the
actual
red.
catering, right? And I was
Hmm.
like, I'm so glad that someone finally got some food catered, because I'm tired of seeing these places, these events where the food just looks homemade, and I get it. I get it. The homemade caterers got to have a business too, and you got to give them some type of business too. But I don't know. I want to see some nice catering, like some people with
Hmm.
some. I don't know, but that's just my
Hmm.
opinion. Let me look. Let's show a little of the rough footage from your brother's what he recorded for the. All right, and again, this is all rough footage, so this isn't the final. But if Jed, I'm pretty sure if he wants the final, you probably want to reach out to Lizzie and her family. You might need to do some apologizing and stuff. But this is the rough, and I'm actually just pausing it really because of the Beyonce music, so I'm trying to break it up a little bit just in case.
Hmm.
I'm so scared about Beyonce. Maybe I'll just pause it for a couple, like 5 more seconds. Let me pause it. I mean, mute it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
mute turn the audio off and we
Yeah.
can watch
yeah.
the video.
Uh,
And that way you don't have to worry about it.
all right, here we go, y'all. Oh, there go Beth. That was one of Jed's biggest supporters.
Hmm.
And
And
you
I
said
think that's why I came out, because I seen him turn against Beth, and I'm like, I
if he'll
saw
turn
Beth.
against her,
Yeah, I saw Beth, and she was so sweet. Her Valerie Stubbs and Stephanie Whitterman were very sweet. I have nothing bad to say about any of those three meeting them that night. So I was like, that just doesn't sound right. That just doesn't sound right.
They got dancers to bring them in.
Yeah, that was a super server. That's the
Uh-huh.
piece of the clip that he really wanted. That he actually have footage of that too, that was screenshotted from his YouTube, where he said that he hopes that the person who filmed does, who when they do the mastering and they don't edit the part where the super server served him the card, custom made by Lavelle for his father because his father had passed away during that time. Yeah. Mind you, the Lord works in mysterious ways because that same camera that they said the fuzzy quality was on, if the live did happen to save, that they streamed from there, it happened to save, got stolen in Atlanta when they bust his window out. They stole his camera.
What?
Yeah, so the Lord works in mysterious ways. Actually, the Swift event has no weight, honestly, unless you took personal pictures. There's no
No
evidence,
memory, right?
no memory of the Swift event.
Oh,
And then I was like, my mom sent him sent Miss Sheila a message out, sent you all of those saying if you could just say so, thank you to my son and just acknowledge him, I'll give you the footage and the photos and I'll let it be. You couldn't say thank you.
Right.
So then you get on live the very next day and throw a subliminal and say there's plenty of people who do things for INA, they don't get a thank you. But
That's crazy.
you're expecting us to just give you a video that when we were there, you ignored us, treated us like we didn't mean much. You were very Hollywood, too Hollywood for your own good.
Mm-hmm.
And your staff was absolutely the worst, except Miss Sheila.
You would think he had like 500 or a million followers. This is the thing. This is one of the things that I say is an issue with, and I'm being funny right now, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not, with black people when they get a little bit of power or
Hmm.
authority, that it just goes to their head, and it don't take a lot. It just a little bit of power, a
Just a
little
little
bit of
bit.
just a little bit of notoriety or authority, and this is what happens.
Right. I was
So
like, and I see like he will lie on you. I realized from yesterday he will lie on you to twist the narrative for whatever like fan base he has over there. Like he will
yeah.
twist that narrative. You know that we wanted nothing in return from you. We're from Florida. You're all the way in Chicago. We don't have any ties to you guys. The first time we actually stepped foot in Dalton, Chicago, any of the state of Illinois, was the day we flew in for the shift event. We didn't know any of you
So
except
did you
what the
guys
person
tour
that
Dalton or?
we no no we seen what we saw from the car, but we seen Kamal's car wash.
Oh,
We
you
did
did?
happen to see that riding down the street. I have pictures of that.
Oh,
But other than that, oh, and I also seen the steakhouse that Tiffany
the
was
new
trying to take
one.
back. Yeah, the new one, the one that's like 3 or 4 stories. It's
Uh-huh.
really nice. That was nice. It was really nice. Other than that, no, because it was an in and out thing. I was so ready to go home. The next
Okay.
day, I like United had several flights. They had a 6 a.m. I think it was 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8, 9. I was trying to see that morning. Me and my brother were like, we want to leave now. So we got up literally. We came, I think we left at like 12 a.m. We literally were back up at like 6, 7, trying to see if we could catch one of those early flights. We stayed at
Wow.
the airport all day because I was thinking maybe, we'd be tired from the event. Maybe we should take this little later flight at 4 o'clock. I was
Uh-huh.
so upset. I was so upset. I just needed to make sure that we made sure that we were on that flight at 4 o'clock, being that we couldn't get on any other early flight so that we would
Right.
not miss our flight because we just
You
needed
ready
to
to
go
get up
home.
out of there.
We needed to go home. It was horrendous.
I'm
Like,
sure it was
I was like,
heartbreaking too. I mean,
it was.
all bullshit aside, um, it
He
seemed like
hyped it
your
up
brother.
more
Right.
than it really was. It was not what it was supposed to be. And I think he hyped himself up more. I think I hyped him up. Me and my brother hyped him up more than he really was. Because then when we met him, it was like, oh, like, is that really you? Is that really who you are? Is that really
Yeah.
your
Their
personality?
personality, yeah, right, right, right. I told you, I mean, I always have that thing when it comes to meeting people that I admire. I always kind of never want to meet them in person because I always feel like it's gonna taint the vision I have of them in my head. So
Yeah. And that's how I felt about him. I was like, dang, but I should never came because then I would have still felt the same way. But like my mom was like, look, you sometimes you
everything
have to
happens for a
go,
reason.
you have to see things for yourself so that when other people say things, you're not going based off what someone else said, you're going off your own personal experience. And there's plenty of people who had the same experience with him, but it doesn't feel as good until you have that experience to say, oh wow, that felt
Absolutely.
heartbreaking. That was
That's so
heartbreaking.
crazy that you called me on a live that I did a long time ago to defend
Hmm.
him, and then you ended up trying to work for him. I mean, work with him on something, and now
Hmm.
you're on my live telling me a
Working
horrible
for free.
experience.
Don't forget that she was working for free
For
Working
free.
for free,
and
using
spending her
thousands of
own,
dollars worth of
yes,
equipment,
Yep.
and having to buy a plane ticket. That's what's baffling me.
and then oh,
And a
You know,
hotel.
and a hotel, yeah, all this money that she's out of, and her brother, and then they didn't even get to get any. They didn't get what they went there for,
Yeah.
and they just got like a slap in their face. How rude, how
Yeah.
discerning,
yeah.
This is
and
the reason why its ship was 5 months or so ago now. And the footage is just really kind of slightly being seen now. Because
right,
the only thing we asked for was an apology. The rest, like not even an apology. We asked you just to say, can you just thank my brother for coming out?
right,
Will you say at least thank you for the student producer for coming out? My brother just wanted you to recognize and acknowledge him. It's like you only wanted to acknowledge him. This is for him when you wanted to raise money or you wanted to use him to get money, say bless or sow into my student producer. But when it was actually time for you to actually let him get experience, you didn't have time for that. So he felt more it was a money basis and a ploy to exploit him because he was autistic and not really because he had good intentions.
And
And
really,
and
the
I,
and
evidence, that's what the
mhm,
evidence, I mean, if you had to go off of just the evidence and what we see, that's
mhm,
exactly what we see through the
mhm,
evidence. So,
and it's all for
yeah,
clicks and views. It's all for
yeah,
clicks and views and to grift off the people, and that's what I don't like. And there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with an advocate getting paid for what they do. I have no problems with that because if that's your full time job, you have to have some type of salary. But
right.
don't just use every little any and every little situation to your benefit.
mhm,
Because to me, if you're
Especially if it's,
advocating, but
I'm
if you
sorry.
advocate, if you're advocating for somebody, then do the work, do the hard work, and sometimes you're gonna have to give to get where you're going. And at the end of the day, you're online, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, so really, you're not paying for much because your followers are supporting whatever
mhm,
endeavors that whatever cause that you say that you're fighting for. You have a whole group of people that's 100% behind you funding
exactly.
Absolutely.
funding whatever cause you say that it is that you're called that you're advocating for, and people actually believe in you. And now look at this
Mhm,
young lady, you just disappointed her and her brother, and it was all not necessary, it was all unnecessary, and for what?
mhm,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
And that.
Oh, go ahead.
Mhm. No, I was just I'm gonna agree with her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie. It really is heartbreaking to hear all the stories that I've heard in these last couple of days come from people. These aren't people who are just everybody knew them for hating Jedediah. These are people who have invested time, money, energy, and really supported him, like were big supporters of this guy. Beth, she, why would she have to come to me and tell me? She shouldn't be coming to me and telling me stories about stuff that's happened between her and Jed, and,
Mhm,
and how it happened publicly.
mhm,
You got on my live to defend him, and the
mhm,
fact that this is one of the stories, and how it impacts your brother, um, and you trying to be a good sister and back him up, and your mom supporting him, that's a beautiful thing actually, what you guys are doing for your brother, to be honest. um I wish I had that type of support from my family. So y'all keep doing that. And I know I said what I said sometimes when you're trying to support a cause, you want to give into that cause as well. You don't just want to look for things in return. So that was another reason why I went ahead and upgraded my plan, because hopefully we can work with your brother together, and he can maybe do some work with us in the future. I'm definitely
Absolutely.
down. If he wants to, I've already set it up. So, y'all can reach out to me and let me know if there's something that y'all want to do. But I'm definitely offering him that. Uh,
Mhm.
and I mean, what do you want to actually, what do you would like to see happen after this? After he sees your version of what you're saying, you're not bashing him. You're just speaking what your
Yeah.
experience is. What would you want as a resolution?
Honestly, I know I'm not really for the sorries or apologies. As you can see, that's the water scene. But anyway,
Oh yeah, him
the
passing
I
out
would
the
want any
water.
apology. Sorry. When he was passing out waters, they never
Oh,
had waters.
did
We're gonna
he
jump
throw the
ahead of the
water?
story like three times. See, look,
Okay.
no, I don't think he actually threw it, but no, not that time. But I would like to see, honestly, him hold some accountability. It's always someone else. And I'm a firm believer, my mom said sometime, I think it's when one person says something, I might say, you didn't do it. Two
Right.
people say it, I'm gonna start looking at you sideways. Three people say it, I'm gonna really start questioning you.
Absolutely.
It's something wrong in the water when there's a lot of people, some know you, some who don't, who all have similar stories about how some way, somehow, you've exploited something from someone, and it's always financially. And then you tell blatant lies, Jed a liar, on people who had nothing but good intentions.
Jedediah, I
No
don't know
money
why
was
that never
wanted.
came to my mind before you
I
said
like
that.
that. I like
I
that.
was
Je-
like,
you know
that
who
is
called
such
him that?
a good Jedediah. I love that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean,
I think someone else called him that first, and that's where I got it from. I forgot who. But she started calling him Jedediah, and
was it
Jedediah.
Trina?
He's yeah. I think it was Trina, wasn't it? Trina? Yeah,
I think
it was
that
her.
sounds
I
like
think it
some
was.
shit. I think I heard her say that before. I think
I think it was her. It was her. I haven't watched. I haven't seen it in a long time because I kind of
right.
after we came back, I went. I think me and him both went being his biggest fan to like his worst, like the worst. Just not. We wouldn't say enemy because we don't care for that, but it was just like,
Right.
ugh. Like my mom would be watching. I'm like, what are you looking at him for?
The step right
Like,
above enemy. The notch right
like
above enemy.
turn the TV off. Like we
Exactly.
would like,
That's
what are
how
you
I
watching
get
him
it.
for?
Yeah, because when they
Yeah.
called me, it was like, oh, he responded to your video. And I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
go
like, ugh,
watch it.
nobody
I'm like,
cared. But
okay.
then you lied on me. You tried to twist my words. You said that you tried to fundraise for autism. I didn't say that. I said that you exploited my brother because you said that he was going to be on your show as a student producer, selling to you, student producer, knowing that you said on your own live he was charging $0. You know that we don't need money from you. We never asked to be a charity case. There was never any monetary agreement. This was simply for credit hours. You fill out this paper,
And the
say you did it,
experience.
And the way that
and
he framed it,
experience.
the way that he framed it too, he framed it as if you guys was gonna join the team because he said we're gonna have a
Mhm.
producer come. We're bringing a producer to the team that's gonna do
Yes,
excellent work for us. So you framed it as if this was gonna be like a permanent situation, not one
yes. He
time.
wanted to make it permanent.
But
He
not one
wanted to make it
time.
per.
But not one time. He
Yeah,
did he say. Um,
Compensation.
well, not even
yeah.
compensation, but that is we're gonna try it out, or it'll be a trial run, or you know,
Yeah, like a
any
probationary
a
period.
probation period, anything to
Mhm.
let the people know it's a possibility that the producer may be there and the producer may not.
Right.
Yes.
He framed it as if you guys were joining the team, and
It
this is
was already set in
and
stone.
it's already set in stone, and this is what we're gonna
Mhm.
do. And then he said,
Mm-mm.
watch the production get better. So
Yes.
then and then
Never
yeah,
did.
so then he endorsed it.
No, it didn't.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And he
that's the
got,
problem I have with it.
yeah. And then it was like just crazy. Like, and then you keep saying, well, did the paper get signed? Did we sign the paper? Yeah. Was it about you signing the paper, or was it actually about what was put on the paper being actually factual, so that he could get that experience? It was more
Right.
of experience for him. He was so excited. He even studied up on Tiffany Henyard and everything she was doing at that time, just waiting for his time, just for it to be like, it never to come. It's just to
Oh, that
drop.
is so well.
And then feeling like you're going to go to the shift event and maybe you can get your experience there actually doing it hands on with your own expensive equipment, and just to have that shot to, oh, go set up wherever. Knowing that,
Lizzie, why didn't you just set up a channel? You guys just do it.
She's a college
honestly, my mom was,
student.
Oh, you
He's
too
a
no.
college
busy.
student. Is he
Oh,
still in
okay.
college?
Yeah, I probably could, but I'm just tired. I
You're
really
tired. Yeah.
am. Yeah. Like working, my brother, he's in his grad program now. Like he went into grad for film and
Oh
production as
no.
well now.
See somebody like me.
Hmm.
I would have set it up just to do what to be at the function or whatever, and
Hmm.
Just to
just
see him just to show him the work that he missing out on.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just to let him know one monkey don't stop no show. And we're gonna
Yeah.
get this credit. We're gonna get this internship. We're gonna get what we came
Yeah.
for, with or without you. And that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to do it on a regular basis because at this point, Tiffany Henyard is already gone anyway. And that's
But there's
really
a lot
what
of stuff to cover though nowadays.
Yeah, but and that's
Hmm.
what people were covering the story on. She was the story. And now, yeah, we're gonna see, what she did in office, but eventually that's gonna dissipate, and social media, another story will be in the, forefront.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, I think that hopefully I already know once I put this on my channel. I'm pretty sure someone in his camp is going to see, and that's another thing. He said that he made sure that he told his team to take care of you, and you know, and I'm not going to really park too much on it, but this is another thing when I was talking about when it comes to the Hassan thing, and you may not be keeping up with what's going on in Harvey, but if you're going to have a team of people that you're going to be giving orders to as if they are your actual staff employed,
Hmm.
then you might want to consider paying them instead of calling other people who
Paying.
are paying their employees slave workers. Because I mean, that's pretty hypocritical for you to call somebody that's paying their staff a slave worker, and you're not paying your staff, and
Hmm.
so it seems pretty hypocritical.
Yeah.
Um, but and I know firsthand that from the people who've actually been on the team that they are paid. I mean, they are volunteers. So
Yeah. So I mean, I honestly, I couldn't even get with it because you raise money for a cause that no one asked you to do. No one asked you to go find out that he was autistic. We forget he's autistic half of the time. No one cares. We're normal like everyone else. He's normal like everyone else. No one uses that label. So you found that out. That was okay, whatever. But then you proceeded to profit off of that. Not that we cared because we didn't want money from the jump. It was just simply to get his internship done and completed. But to each his own. Only thing I would like to see from this is maybe one day he can actually take some accountability for someone else or just
there you go.
something in general, because
We
the
just
way
have to
that he
start
tried to,
holding everybody accountable, even the people that we like.
yeah.
That's the lesson I think. Even if we like people, we see stuff and we like, well, I'm gonna give them a pass. No, we can't give passes
Hmm.
like that anymore. People just need to be held
No.
accountable when it happens.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think maybe because he's still has a good following base, but he just doesn't care. Everybody's a hater. He called me a hater. Why would I hate on you? If that was the case, I was a hater. I've been a hater 5 months ago, right after the shift even. I could have came and been like, hey, he did this to me, and Ben tried to hate on
No
him
one
allegedly.
hates
I have
on
no reason to hate on you.
Jed.
I'm a FIU student. I don't care. I
He is
really
in
don't. I have better
Illinois.
things to do. I don't.
He has 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, maybe if he was pushing, like I said, 5 to 1 million, maybe that would be something.
Hmm.
But it's not like he's at an
Yeah.
unattainable number. You know,
Yeah. And he always wants to come at people like when I mention certain things. Like I think I mentioned you in the upcoming live one. Actually, I actually said it back to him. I said, then I had the nerve to stand up to you on Minion's channel a long time ago when you were trying to get when you were going to get canceled for calling women the B word. He was like, I don't care about someone with a little bit amount of followers and all those little bit of views or whatever he said. Something about low numbers of views. No one cares about views but you. That is very minuscule. It's very superficial. We
low
care
hanging fruit. That's what
about
it is.
maybe you being a good person, someone having good things. Yeah, the good things to say about your character, those things got come and go. You can have 15,000 followers and zero tomorrow. No one cares.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't
mean,
get your soul to heaven. Treating people horribly doesn't get your soul where you want it to be. And just because you're going to sit there and spiritually manipulate to keep yourself from feeling bad or make yourself seem like you're the innocent one isn't going to help you.
these are true statements.
Victim.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you actually came on and shared your story. I think it is important that people, because he does have a platform and he can, create whatever narrative he wants to create about the situation. So it is good to just have the truth out there, and then also his versions, and let people decide which one they want to go off of. Um, but what it's looking like I said, is more and more people are coming out, and people who were initially supporters of Jedediah. So there must be something to it. I'm going to report
Has to
on.
be.
Yeah, if somebody comes to me and they want their voices heard, you know what? That's what I'm going to let them voice their opinion. I'm not
and,
going
and
to.
and let me just say this.
Yeah.
This is a great video. I mean, I'm looking at it on my screen and it
Mhm.
is clear as day. So
Clear,
very
yes.
clear. So this is great quality work. It really is. So
And I'm
uh,
sure once he finished this, it was
yeah.
probably really, really good. I could just imagine all the stuff he could do with
It
this
really was.
video.
Yeah, and this is not even the
Yeah.
final version. And look how
Right.
good it looks. So I think he's awesome. He's doing a great job, and he'll go far.
Yes, he is
So
amazing. And does he have any socials? Do you have any socials that we can follow you on?
Yes, we do. Do you want me to give them to you now, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, we'll wait, and then we'll wait,
Yeah.
and then we'll connect. But thank you for coming on. I just want to really say I appreciate you being brave enough to come on, because I know a lot of people are just really scared of the backlash that they'll receive by going against Jed. But I don't give a damn about anything that people say.
There's no backlash. There's
And
no
right.
backlash. I don't know anything about him. My past doesn't. I don't have anything. I'm too young for that. I don't have any
Well,
past
no,
names
I'm
that
just
I
talking
care about
about.
him mentioning. We don't care.
Oh yeah, that too. Trust me, I'm never gonna back down from a fight. I don't.
He likes to shame you with your past.
If you try to pull
Yeah.
up if he tries to compare my past to his, there's no comparison. Cause the little stuff that I done
Yeah.
seen, he could pull my past if he want to. Anybody could pull my past. Just make sure that yours is squeaky clean. Um, but I'm
Right.
not even talking about that. I'm
Also, I
talking
want to
about
add.
his staunch followers that are like just brain dead. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not minions, but flunkies. That's what they are
Yeah,
to me.
flunkies.
Yeah.
They try
So
to crucify me in the comments. If
they
your
tried to
self-esteem
crucify.
isn't strong, please, you will not survive over there.
Right.
Good luck. They got a whole bunch of keyboard flunkies. So They're gonna stick up for their mans and
They
do what you got
are
to do. But I know my story. You can believe his because that's who you want to follow.
right.
But I'm not gonna be lied into backing down. You're not gonna lie your way into me backing down with whatever story you make
But
up in
you
your head
still
every three
coming
minutes.
out, right?
And if your followers yeah, if your followers denying to believe you after you change your script literally 3 times in 15 minutes on the live that we were on, and no one caught it, that's a them problem. That's not a me problem. I don't care. I have better things to do. Me and Tori both have better things to do. I just came on because if one person's saying it, two people saying it, three people plus keep saying it, it's probably true. And the whole thing with Harvey, look at how you do other, especially the people that you feel are underdogs, such as me and I would say my brother, because this is just my brother, but I was a little bit of a little
Hold on,
funny
Lizzie.
because he actually like looked up to him. He thought he was someone that was really trying to do work in the community. Like he
You're kind of going out a
really
little bit,
thought that he
Liz.
was somebody maybe he could.
Lizzie, you're going out.
Can you hear us? You're going out.
Okay.
Well, stand by everybody for technical difficulties. Maybe she can
She'll
come
be
back
back
on.
on. It'll correct itself, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Um,
But this was a great story, and I'm glad she was able to get it out, and she had receipts. So,
yeah, yeah, and
and we don't have a dog in the fight or anything. We just we're bringing the facts and the truth.
and letting the people's voices be heard. I
Right,
don't want anyone to feel like they have to silence themselves or they are being silenced.
right. And
Um,
you make your own choice and opinion. Come to your draw your own conclusion of what you think it is, and so because we're not here to bash anybody at all. We're just here trying to state the facts.
that's right. And with that being said, y'all, this was just really a special show just to allow one of the people who was brought up on the live, give them the opportunity to defend themselves without having to worry about anyone going off on them in the chat or silencing them or reshaping the narrative, just giving them the open space, the free reign to just have their story told.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we did it on OTR because right now the channel is still kind of small, and
Hmm.
so she didn't have to have any backlash and get
Am I
discouraged.
back?
Yes, you are, and she didn't have to worry about being
Okay, perfect.
discouraged by the chat or anything. So I think this was a great idea to do it on this channel.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and we'll
Oh
take
no,
we'll take the
I would
heat.
never get discouraged.
What you
It's
say,
okay. I would
Lizzie?
never get discouraged. I would never get discouraged from speaking my truth. My truth is my truth,
Hmm.
and they can choose to believe what they want
Uh
type of
oh.
way. My self-esteem is built for the.
I love it. I love it. Um, and the one thing about Lizzie is she's very well spoken. Um, you don't. I mean, if I was gonna go with who just on its face seems a little bit more credible, you definitely seem like you have your head on your shoulders and you're intentional in what you say. It doesn't look like you just spurt off at the mouth. Um, you guys seem very like your mom raised a very nice family, and she should be very proud of herself. Um, and you represent your family well. So I look forward to working with y'all, and seeing what else you guys come up with. I'm gonna follow Tori and see what he does because he probably gonna be doing great things in a few years. So,
Thank you.
all right, y'all. Well, before we go, did y'all have any final words? I think we got everything that we need to talk about out.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank the guest for coming tonight too and sharing her story, sharing her experience, and just like you said, wish her and her brother, you know, great success. I can see it in their future, and they seem like they're going somewhere. And I just feel like this was a grave opportunity that Jed missed. And so sometimes we do that in life, because we're looking one way and we can't see the forest for the trees. And so I think that's what's happening in this situation. But I do take my hat off to you. And like I said, I appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing your story. Thank you so much.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much as well. I also want to add to what you said as well. Honestly, I think things happen for a reason. So my brother not being on Jet's show honestly probably worked out itself out for the best because the way that it looks like he's going, I don't think is a direction our family would have wanted to be a part of.
I agree. I agree. I'm very disappointed in a lot of the stuff I'm seeing lately, but it is what it is. And you know what? We're gonna keep it moving. The show, one pony don't stop the show. So, one monkey don't stop the show. I'm sorry. Let me make it right. One monkey don't stop the show. So with that being said, guys, y'all will be seeing a lot more of us. We have a lot more interviews coming up this week. So if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. There's going to be a lot of information this week. So much stuff going on this week. So we look forward to seeing y'all in the next live. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Oh, and happy July 1st. I forgot about that. Bye.
Foxy, bring the fire. Minion got the facts. I said what I said, yeah, no taking it back. It's truth with a twist, and we had a little mess. But don't get it twisted, we still say it best. This ain't your mama's news, it's off the record. Unfiltered, unbothered, undeniably black.